Okay. And we're going to start off on your back. So when you come down, feel free to put something under your head if you need to. And with your legs bent, step your feet wide, elbows wide, but then let your fingers or your hands rest in on your abdomen, knees together. So the back of the body feels broad, and then just resting in on the front of your body. Feel the beginning of your breath, the highest point of your breath, the fullest point of your breath, and then the end of your breath before it begins again. And just continuing that loop, following your breath in, reaching fullness, letting the breath go, reaching emptiness. A few more breaths like that, just releasing any tension you might be feeling in your body, or any resistance, anything you're holding onto that stops you from progression, anything that feels like a blockage. You're going to notice it, breathe to it, and give it space. And then the practice itself will do the rest of the work for you. Let your arms go out wide, palms to the ceiling. Start to rock your knees one way, then the other way, so the soles of the feet stay wide on the mat. And we'll add a little head turn, so you look the opposite way to your knees. If your knees go left, you turn your head right, and vice versa. Rolling over the soles of your feet like a mini foot massage. Rolling over the back of your hips. Rolling over the back of your head. One more each way, feeling your knee extending down toward the opposite foot. When you come up knees to center, pause and straighten out your left leg. Bring your right foot into tree pose, so the sole of your right foot inside your left leg, and then take your arms overhead, palms to the ceiling, or palms facing away from the floor, and wriggle your waist long without the back arching. See if you can be long in your side body without the back and the ribs lifting. So there's a heaviness in the ribs, a heaviness in the waist, but length. Flex your left foot as if you're standing, and take another breath wide into your right knee. On your inhale, bring the right knee to point up. Use the sole of the foot on the floor to move your bottom a couple of inches to the right. And then your inner ankle on the inside of the left leg. As the knee drops to the left, hold your left hip, thigh or knee with your left hand. Keep your right arm extended up. Keep your nose pointed to the ceiling. You've rolled onto the outside of your left leg and left hip. Opening into the side body, outer hip, lower back. Make your way back in, and then bend both legs, both feet flat on the floor, and move your bottom to the middle of the mat. Straighten both arms, right leg straight, left knee drops out to the side like in tree pose. The sole of the foot is on the inside of your right leg. The left leg is bent out to the side, it's supported by the ground. Again, see if you can get left through your sides and out through your arms without the ribs in the back arcing. Feel heaviness in your lower ribs, a slight contraction in your abdomen to keep the back down. The right foot flexed as if you're standing, and another breath, like the breath is trying to widen your inner left thigh. On your inhale, bring the left knee up, foot flat to the floor. Move your bottom about 2 inches to the left until your inner left ankle and right thigh are touching. Drop the legs to the right. Use your right hand to either rest on your hip, your thigh, or your knee. If you can't reach it, then you can just relax your right arm down. Keep the energy up through the left arm. Breathe smoothly. The knee comes back up as your pelvis turns. Both feet flat to the floor, bottom back to the middle of the mat. Both arms out wide. And then drop both knees across toward the screen. Turn onto your side, bring your arms round with you, and push up to kneeling along the long edge of your mat. So you're facing the long edge of your mat. So you're in the middle. If you struggle to kneel, you can put a cushion or block between your feet, so it helps you to sit up a bit higher. From here, bring your hands together and circle your hands round so you work into your wrist joints, moving palm to palm and then back to back with your hands. And then go the other way. And then take your left hand down to the floor, right arm up and over into a side bend. Press into the hand on the floor, left hand, and see if you can expand out into your right ribs. Bring your right hand to your left ear and come upright. Rest your left hand on your lap and draw your head across toward the right, stretching the left neck, left shoulder. Place your right hand down to the floor, lift left arm and come into the same side bend, the other side. Pressing a bit more into the hand on the floor so your shoulder drops down and then expand out into your left ribs. Left hand to right ear, and then as you come up, drop your head toward the left. Rest your right hand on your lap. As you release your hands down, shift your bottom to the left, feet slightly off to the right. And then separate your feet just a little, separate your knees just a little so that you can get some grounding. You're not necessarily going to touch the ground with your right hip, but it feels like you're not going to fall over to the left. And then take your right hand to your left knee and start to twist round. Again, try and feel like you're aiming your right hip down as you turn away from your feet. Start to turn your head, look over the back shoulder. Use the fingers on the floor behind you as well to support you. Try keeping the eyes going as far as they can toward the left corner of your eye sockets, toward the left corner of your vision. Right shoulder rolls down. Inhale as you look forwards. Drop down onto your left forearm. Rest your right arm by your side. And then just let your head, so we want first of all to, just where the cat is, push down into the forearm on the floor so that you're pressing away from your left shoulder, and then let your head fall toward the left shoulder. So by pushing away first of all, we're not compressing in this space. We created space, and then the head falls into that space. Send energy down through your right arm. Your right arm is relaxed, but you can just feel there's extension as the energy travels down to your right fingertips. Lift your right arm up by your right ear, and then see if your ear can lift to touch your arm. If you've any neck issues, you can bring your hand to your ear again as you press into the left hand and come up, and then release your right arm and swing your bottom over to the other side. So the foot position, you can just have your top foot resting in the instep of your bottom foot. The knees come slightly apart. And then twisting towards your right. Stay heavy in your left hip as you twist to the right. Press the left hand against your right thigh for support. Keep turning your gaze, turning your head, without the chin getting pokey. Try and keep your chin soft rather than poking it forwards and up. Relax the left shoulder as you apply pressure through the left hand. Breathing in your nose. Inhale as you look forwards. Exhale, right forearm down to the floor, left arm by your side. Press through your right forearm, space around the right side of the neck, and let your head drop down into that space. Stay long in the left arm. And then bring your left arm up by your left ear. The head lifts just enough that the ear touches your inner arm. Get long in your spine from your pelvis through your ribs through to the top of your head. And then your left hand could come and hold the right ear to help your head up a little. Press through your right arm, come up, and then come back to kneeling, but in a high position. Add extra padding under the knees if you need to. Take your left leg out to the side, toes point forwards, balancing on your right thigh bone vertical. And then left hand palm upwards, right arm up in the air, inhale. Exhale, slide the back of your left hand down the outside of your left leg. Apply pressure from your right hip down into your right knee, as if you're trying to push the ground away through that right thigh bone, and feel your ribs lift higher and side bend a bit more. Create space up the right side. Inhale as you come up, place your right hand down to the floor or fingertips and lift the left leg, catch hold of your left foot. Draw the heel towards your bottom first of all for a stretch into the front of your thigh. Heel trying to touch your buttock. Even if it doesn't, it's just moving in that direction. And then keep hold of your foot or your ankle and kick the foot back away so your arm gets drawn out straight behind you. Roll the top shoulder back if there's any tension in your neck. Look down slightly. Extend the left leg and left arm back out. Spring off your right hand and come up. Bring your arms down, your knees in together. And then just drop into a child's pose. Forehead kisses the ground. And push into your knees. Use your hands if you need to as you come back up again. Right leg out to the side, foot points forwards. Try rolling to the outer edge of the foot, outer ankle stretch. Palm upwards, and then lift your left arm, inhale. Slide the back of the right hand down the outside of the right leg, exhale. Hold it here. Each breath adds a new little extra oomph into it. Tiny little add-ons. As you inhale, push from left hip down, left thigh into the knee. As you exhale, go over a little more. As you inhale, feel from the knee up through your fingertips. As you exhale, try and stay long in your spine. Another breath. Foot flat, leg as straight as you can. On your inhale, come up. Drop down onto your hand or fingertips. Lift the right leg, catch hold of your foot, draw your heel towards your bottom. Try and close the gap of your knee to whatever your knee is able to. Pressing the hips forward slightly. And keeping hold of your foot or ankle, push the foot away from your bottom so your arm draws back, chest opens a bit more. Again, any neck strain, look down. Release the right leg, right arm, and then spring off your left hand to come up. Bring your knees in together. And again, bow down, touch your forehead to the floor, child's pose, arms by your side, palms up. Take a full breath in and out. Place your fingers on the front edge of the mat where your knees are. Tuck your toes under on the back line of the mat and then straighten your legs. Have your feet hip distance apart, the heels just on the mat. Hands in front could be on blocks if you can't get your fingers to the ground. And then straighten your legs and draw the weight of your legs back a little so you feel your sit bones trying to line over your heels. See if the sit bones can then lift upwards away from the heels. Keep more of your weight in your feet, less of the weight in the hands. Your hands are in front just to help you lift through your chest and elongate the sides of your waist. Then bow forwards over your legs. Hold onto opposite elbows. Let your head fall toward the forearms. Elbows heavy in your hands. One more breath. Soften your knees, release your arms and roll your spine up. Roll your shoulders down and then step your feet out wide. Press to the outer edges of your feet. Broaden your inner thighs. Hands to hips, inhale. Exhale, bow forwards, lifting through the sit bones. Fingertips on the front line of your mat. Stretch your torso so it aims to go parallel to the floor. And then bend in a little deeper. Keep more of the weight back in your legs as your hands come down. Lift halfway, so fingertips back onto the mat. And then turn your right toes out and shift your weight into your right knee. Lift the left toes and sink down into your right side. Push through your right leg and come back to center. Turn your left toes out, bend into the left leg, lift your right toes and sink down into the left side. Push through the left leg and come back into center. Do that again each side, drop down into your right. Heel can come off the ground, it's fine. And then push and walk your hands round and then drop down into the left. And then push and come back to center. Feet point forwards again. Bend the knees a tiny amount, hands onto your hips, flat back parallel to the ground. And then with your core strength and your buttock strength, come upright with your torso, straighten out your legs. And then turn your right foot so the toe is pointing out to the right corner of your mat. So your foot should be about in line with the edge of your mat, seeing as we're at the back of the mat. Spin your left heel a little wider and level left hip with right hip. Bend into your right knee, float your arms out, turn your chin and look over your right arm. Sense the outer edge of your left foot, staying grounded. Breathe through your nose so there's a smoothness to the breath, meeting each inhale and exhale with awareness. The right thigh bone directly underneath your right arm and the left thigh bone pressing back to create space and openness in your pelvis. On an inhale, straighten your right leg out, turn your feet forwards, and then turn the left foot so the outside edge of your foot lines with the outside edge of your mat. Spin your right heel a bit wider than the right toes. Bend into your left leg. Then feel your hips level. Right hip drops in line with left hip. Keep the thigh bone underneath the left arm. Look over your left arm. Notice if you get a pokey out chin and try and just settle your chin in, almost like you're nudging your chin slightly in towards your throat. Can the arms extend without becoming hard, but by staying soft in your shoulders, let your arms feel like they float on the air, like you're gliding your arms out along the air. Inhale, straighten your leg out. Exhale, turn your feet forwards, bring your hands to your hips, heel toe your feet all the way in. And then we're coming into toe balance. So lift your heels off the ground, press through the balls of the feet, and see if you can keep the heels as high as possible. Lower your heels down. Then we're going to take the same thing, but at the long end of your mat, the short end of your mat, sorry. So same thing here. Hands to your hips. Press your heels off the ground. Take it high, front of the feet pressing forwards. Lower your heels down. And then bend your knees a little. Lift the left heel off the ground. Slide the ball of the left foot back until you're on a long lunge. Lift the front bones of your pelvis up slightly and press the back heel away. Feel an opening in the front of the left hip. Same thing, but interlace your hands behind you, roll your shoulders back and try and lift your arms away from the back leg. And then left hand down to the floor. Right arm's going to lift up in the air. Turn your chest. Look up towards your right hand. Squeeze your right hip in. Exhale, bring your right hand down and come to pigeon on your right leg. So the foot goes to the left side of the mat. Your knee drops behind your right wrist. Drop the back knee and then just rock a little side to side before coming down as deep as your hips will allow. Little rock side to side, just a little. And then shimmy the left knee back a bit further and come down to where it feels okay in your knee and your hip. Lower to your forearms. Try not to clench your hands together. Rather, either put your hands in a prayer or palms flat to the floor. With that length in your back leg, you're opening into the front of the left hip. And with the bend in the right leg, you're opening into the right hip. Buttock. Press slightly down into your right thigh and into your right shin and try and almost feel like the right sit bone is drawing back slightly, enhancing that just a little. One more breath. And then walk your hands back in. Press through your arms, lift, step to downward facing dog. Swoop your right leg high in the air with an inhale. Step your right foot forwards. Pivot the back heel to the ground. Bend your front knee, warrior one. Arms come up and let the front hip points follow your arms upwards, your torso over your pelvis. Keeping the back heel down, try pressing the front of the left thigh back. Palms face one another. Gaze forwards. If you want to, you can gaze up. And if your arms stay straight, palms can meet. Take your arms down, interlace your hands behind, and then bow to the left corner of your mat. Lift your arms up. Right shoulder inside right knee. Maybe look toward the back right corner of the mat. Bring both hands back down. Step your left foot forwards. So your feet are hip distance at the front of your mat again. Bend both knees, sink your hips about as low as your knees, and then swoop your arms forwards, push through your legs, come all the way up. Arms down, hands to hips, lift both heels off the ground. Heels down, bend into your knees, lift your right heel off the ground, slide the right ball of the foot back along the mat. Nice long sliding until you're in a long lunge, a high lunge, so that means back knee off the ground. Keep your hands on the hip points and guide them up. At the same time, try and press through your right thigh, out to the right heel. Anchor into your front heel for stability. And then as you take your hands behind, see if you can interlace your goofy way, the less dominant way. The easiest way is just to interlace them and then do the opposite. Lift the arms away from the back leg the best you can. Right hand comes down to the floor. Left arm swoops up, look up towards your left hand. If you need a longer stride, you wriggle on the ball of the right foot to get a bit longer in that leg length. Trying to bring your left thigh bone and your right ribs a bit closer together, twisting a bit more. As your hand comes down, pigeon pose with the left leg this time. Shin bone going across the mat. Right knee down and a slight rock side to side. Shift your right knee further back. Pause. Try and roll the right hip forwards a little and then come down onto your forearms. You can use blocks if you can't get to your forearms. Sense that same thing as we did earlier, where you want to push down into the forearms so that you don't collapse in the neck and shoulders. So the shoulders roll down away from your ears and the neck feels nice and long and free. Slight pressure down through your left shin bone. Feel like you're trying to drag your left sit bone back a little, deepening the stretch. One more breath. Your hands come back in, lift the back knee, press the down dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. Left foot forwards, right heel to the ground for warrior one. And then take your arms all the way up and feel the front pelvic bones rising up with your arms, and then the back leg trying to press out. Roll to the outer back heel so we get into the calf without collapsing in the ankle. Arms come behind. Again, see if you can go your goofy way with your hand interlacing. Look at the right corner of your mat and bow. Shoulder inside the knee or on top of the knee. Look toward the back left corner of the mat if the balance allows you to. And then bring both hands to the floor. Step your right foot forwards to meet your left. Bend both knees. Keep sitting your bottom lower and lower and lower and land down to sitting. Roll all the way down onto your back. Take your arms over behind, legs straight. Step your feet to the right corner of the mat. Shift your head and shoulders toward the right corner of the mat for banana stretch, yin style. So for this, we're going to hold it a bit longer. Cross your left ankle on top of your right ankle if it will go there. Try and keep your left buttock and left shoulder on the ground. You can gently pull your left wrist if you want to add a bit more, and try framing your head evenly between your arms before settling into stillness. If you need a bit more, then your legs go a bit further to the right. You can even, if you've got anything heavy like a weighted cushion or bolster or sandbag, you can put it on your left hip to help weigh the left hip down. If the neck is an issue, just do the lower body or do it with your hands interlaced behind your head. Close your eyes. Got about another 2.5 minutes-ish here, so you can relax a bit. Continue to breathe easy and enjoy the full support for your body against the ground. What's really nice about this pose is both arms, your spine, both buttocks, everything maybe apart from your left ankle is completely supported on the ground. So you can become heavy. Just feel there's a little energy reaching out through your left leg. Unstep your left leg so the feet go wide. And then shuffle your head and chest back to the middle of the mat. Bring your arms down. Rest your hands on your belly and take a couple of breaths. Just let the energy from that asymmetrical hold start to settle in. Notice the difference in feeling from one side to the other. That it gently starts to pull and coax on energy flow in your body. Maybe more feeling or a different feeling in your left side to your right side. And then the other side now, arms behind. Shuffle your head and shoulders toward the left. And then bring your right foot towards your left foot. Maybe right ankle crosses over left ankle. Once more, you're in this banana curve, hence banana stretch. We want to try and keep the right buttock and right shoulder on the ground so we don't end up rolling our banana onto its side. Back of the head to the floor, even between your arms. Make any little adjustments you need to make, maybe slightly pulling on your right wrist. And then you can become still and just let that one long side of your body open and flow. The elasticity and maybe blockages and knots that are sometimes held in contraction. And you're trying to open them up. Give energy and blood flow and your breath space to move up that right side. Okay, and then coming out of that side, so separate your legs again. Bring your arms down, shuffle back into the middle of the mat. Adjust your bottom if you need to. Rest your hands on your tummy. And then bend your legs and we'll just do a 1 minute IT band opener. Bring your feet in narrow, legs bent. Cross your left, in fact, first of all, move your bottom an inch to the right. Cross your left thigh bone, so not ankle to knee like we sometimes do, but left thigh bone in front of your right thigh bone. So crossing your legs across the thigh bones. And then drop your legs to the left, turning onto the inside edge of your right foot, maybe wriggling your right foot over to the right a little. Feel that open into the outer right hip. If you want to, you can extend your right arm up. And then bring your arm down. Let your legs slide off so you're uncrossed and come back up to center. Move your bottom slightly off to the left. Feet together, cross right thigh bone over left thigh bone. Lower your legs to the right. So your right leg's kind of carrying the left leg over. Wriggle onto the inside edge of your left foot. Left foot can wriggle further toward the left side of the mat if you want. And then maybe lifting the left arm up. Hand can be resting on your belly and just feeling the movement of your breath. And the crossed leg slides off. Both knees come up, bottom back to the middle of the mat. Both arms down. Bring your knees in, give them a light squeeze towards you. Take your knees wide and squeeze again. And then from here, take relaxation. If you've got your bolster with you for the yin bit, then you can put your legs over the bolster, maybe head supported on something, and maybe a warm blanket over you. Otherwise, you can just straighten your legs flat and wide on the mat. Turn your palms up or rest your fingers onto your tummy and tune into the flow of your breath. Feel both the giving, the surrendering, and the trusting of being able to let the weight of your body go into the ground beneath you. Have full trust in its support. Falling into the earth. Surrendering all you have to the earth right now. Keep that feeling of heaviness, but be aware of space around you, the lightness, the openness, the expansiveness of space. And see if there's part of you that can move into that space and expansiveness. You're not moving your physical body, you're just mentally expanding, feeling your energy shift into space. Moving from heaviness to lightness. A complete trust and surrender into space. And then if you've got longer, stay longer. If you haven't, then bend your legs with me and roll to your side. Push your way up to sitting. Land in a comfortable sitting position. Arms come together. Before you head off into the rest of your day or evening, whenever you're watching this, Just check in with your closing state. We notice what we started the practice with. Now notice what you end the practice with. How are you physically? How are you mentally? How do your emotions feel? What freshness has the practice offered you? And can you open into that? The fresh, revitalized me bows to the fresh, revitalized you. Namaste.